Hey everyone, it's Ish here with Growing in OKC, and today's video is going to be about harvesting potatoes. So as you can see, I'm standing here in front of my potato bed. It's an 8x3 bed, so it's about 24 square feet, and the potatoes are starting to brown and die back. This is how you know when it's time to start harvesting your potatoes. You can start harvesting about 3 or 4 weeks before this when it begins to flower. That's when the new potatoes form. I like to let my potatoes dry out a little bit more. The skin toughens up and it makes for better storing. So I'm going to start harvesting. Like I said, it's an 8x3 bed, which is 24 square feet. I'm hoping to get about 10 pounds out of this bed. So let's start harvesting and I'll show you what we've got. Okay. This is a little better. You know, I was starting to get a little disappointed. The first couple of plants I pulled maybe had one potato per plant. These are not only really big red potatoes, but there are about 3 really big ones on there and a couple of small ones. So we are done with the red skin potatoes. Remember how much greener the red skins were in comparison to the Yukon Golds. They started dying back about 2 weeks before the red skins. And that's how many red skin potatoes I harvested. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna hit my goal right now. We'll see if the Yukon Golds did any better. Okay, so that's it for the Yukon Golds and the red skin potatoes. We'll take them in and weigh them in a moment. Okay, so stick around for the end of the episode where I weigh the potatoes and some quick things about potatoes. Here's some of the things that I noticed. The red skin potatoes, which were growing in the foreground, grew taller, lasted longer, and I think I got more potatoes out of them. Additionally, the Yukon Gold potatoes came up later and died sooner, and so I think I got less Yukon Gold potatoes than I had anticipated, because they're not as, there's also, I had maybe 5 or 6 potatoes rot in the ground, and this bed is uniformly watered with a drip irrigation system. So if you're worried about potato rot or diseases of potatoes, it seems like the Yukon Golds are not as resistant to disease as the red skin potatoes. Now, I say all this, and I'm still going to say that I think you should grow potatoes in your backyard. It's the end of June right now, and that means that I have all of July, August, September, and half of October, so 3.5 months that I get to use this bed before the first frost comes. And there aren't a lot of crops that you can do that with, where you can get 2 seasons out of a crop, because you start potatoes in February. So I definitely disagree with some of the people who say, you know, potatoes are so cheap to grow, potatoes take up too much space. All of those things don't really take into account the fact that you get to build up your soil as you're planting potatoes. This bed was about 6 inches more shallow when the season started. And additionally, now I get to plant like peppers or squash or something here, or maybe my second generation of tomatoes for the spring. So grow potatoes, stick around. I'm going to weigh these potatoes. See if we hit 10 pounds. Let's go. Liddy. Hey. We are definitely going to get 10 pounds out of this. I think we're going to get 20. Okay. Moment of truth. Here we go. Oh, 30.8 pounds in 24 square feet. That's amazing, guys. Wow. Let me just make sure one more time. 30.8. All right, well, there you see it. The mounding method works great. We're averaging more than a pound per square foot. This is amazing.